At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The following audio contains the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optavia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join Optavia, but please note they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the U.S. or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optavia. Additionally, this audio may contain income or earning representations of some independent Optavia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optavia is derived from successful sales efforts, which required hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optavia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optavia coaches in the U.S., Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optavia coaches operating in the U.S., please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of U.S. coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optavia coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in Health, the Optavia team.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Laura Gaffney.
And I am Bob Gaffney, and we are honored and certified independent Optavia coaches.
And we are super excited to get to spend some time with you this evening to bring some enlightenment and understanding to what it is that we coach.
Absolutely, and we are tonight going to speak about element number 17 in your life book, how to become a perpetual motion machine. On this call, we are going to give you some really amazing tips to maximize your daily caloric burn just by utilizing your daily activities. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Who would like to burn some more calories?
I know I would.
All right. So
yeah, let's get rocking here. So before we dive in here, well, actually when we dive in here, my beautiful wife, Laura, would love to share with you her story of how we got started with Optavia.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, we really help people move from surviving to thriving. And that is exactly what happened to me. I went from trying so many diets and over-exercising. We're fitness professionals, so I thought I knew what to do, but I really needed to change my entire lifestyle, and I have never felt better about my overall health. I know this program has changed our lives so much. You can see here from that middle slide that it was revolutionary. My whole physical body changed, but what you can't see is what changed on the inside. My mind changed, my habits changed, and it was an amazing transformation that led to us becoming health coaches. It really was quite organic. We wanted and loved to help other people. It was a natural fit because they were asking. So let's dive into our first poll. And I would love to hear what answer describes you best. First poll here. Are you a U.S. independent Optavia coach? Are you a U.S. Optavia client? Hong Kong or Singapore independent Optavia coach? Hong Kong, Singapore Optavia client? Or are you a guest? So please go ahead and make your selection. And if you're a guest, welcome. We are so happy that you are here.
Absolutely, welcome.
Okay, so let's move on.
Alrighty. Okay, so what we're going to talk about here is we are going to talk about our Habits of Health transformational system. It literally is our secret weapon to success. And so what you're seeing here on your left is our life book. This is your virtual guide to your new journey. It typically takes about 1 year to complete, and we'll go through about 26 different elements. In the middle here, we have this very, very powerful app, which is really a habit installation app. And certainly we have Dr. A's Habits of Health reference guide. And lastly, we also have the Habits of Health website, which is chock full of information to get you started on the right foot toward your Optavia journey.
And I'm curious to know what is your favorite element? So go ahead, please, and put that in the chat. We want to know.
Absolutely.
So we're going to move on here to our agenda of element 17 tonight. We're going to break this down into mindset, skill set, and action steps. So first, with our mindset, we're going to learn the importance of increasing your activity level. Skill set, let's discover new ways you can increase your activity level. And finally, action, explore how the habits of healthy motion can become a part of your new story. And I love this next quote by Dr. A. He says, by making small daily choices, you can win the race of weight management and set the stage for exercise at your own pace. I love that.
Love that. So everybody, so with that, so let's talk a little bit about what is the difference between physical activity and exercise. Well, I'm going to tell you. Physical activity can be integrated into your daily motions, okay? And now habits, and this happens anytime your body is in motion, whether it be voluntary or involuntary. Now, exercise is planned movements, right? So basically, these are vigorous movements that lead to overall improvements in your fitness. Generally, these are done for short periods of time. So things like the Peloton bike, Zumba classes, maybe a HIIT training workout, right? But basically, this is our habits of motion breakdown. And what you're seeing here is basically the big piece here that gives you the ability to maximize your caloric burn throughout the day is just our daily motions. And basically, what we're going to do on this call is give you some amazing basically tricks and tips on how to maximize that while at the same time also utilizing exercise to maximize your daily caloric burn. So with that, let's dive in.
I love that. So we're going to break this down into one handy way to break down your acronym is through break down your exercises through the acronym NEAT. And what that stands for is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's a mouthful, isn't it? But all it means is we're using our voluntary and unconscious movements that we make as we go about our daily lives by working, doing chores, and all of the combined effects of all of those silly little motions. So thermogenesis is just a metabolic process during which your body burns calories to produce heat. And I love this NEAT system because it's designed for everyone, and it's easy, effective, and you're already doing it. We're just going to talk about today about how to make your NEAT neater. So let's compare the NEAT system to the EAT system. And EAT, as you might have guessed, stands for exercise activity thermogenesis. And what that means is planned physical activities we perform in order to increase our energy expenditure and improve our overall fitness. So things like Bob was referring to, Peloton's real popular, going for a run, working out, taking a group fitness class, any kind of exercise that is actually planned. So I would love to introduce to you our first guest speaker for tonight. Her name is Teresa Taylor, and she became a client and had an amazing transformation. And she is someone who has really included the NEAT system into her daily life. Teresa, please come off mute and share your story with us. I think you're on mute. There you are.
Here I am. Hi, guys. Hey, thank you so much for this opportunity to share my story. You know, my story actually began 2 years ago when I began my health journey. See, I saw that before photo of my backside, and I knew something had to change. I considered myself somewhat active because I would walk several days a week. I'd go several miles, but every night I rewarded myself with TV time with my hubby, and I'd sit and eat ice cream. Give me a 3 in the chat if you can relate to that activity. Well, the truth was I was a middle-aged woman and I was 50 pounds overweight. All of this changed when I joined Optavia. Guys, I was just bopping around the house doing all kinds of fun stuff. So when I brush my teeth, I am doing my squats. When I'm blow drying my hair or doing the dishes, I'm doing a dance party. So there are a lot of really fun activities that I find myself doing around the house, and I became a NEAT freak. That is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So everything I'm doing around the house and throughout my day, it all adds up to a whole lot of motion. And a lot of gyms sadly closing. This is the best time ever to become a NEAT freak yourself, because Everything you're doing is going to make a difference. And Element 17 of your life book has a whole list of all kinds of fun things you can be doing at home. So I am from Eagle River, Alaska. I've been in Alaska close to 40 years. Now, my family has always been active in the summer. We love to do the Alaskan things, like we go fishing, we go camping, we go four-wheeling. Every year we do a trip, my husband and I and our 4 kids, and we will go camping, and we take our four-wheelers and we all ride out to this big, beautiful glacier. We have a snack, we get on our wheelers, and we ride back to camp. Well, my kids know after that trek, count me out for any more riding. I'll sit by the fire with a book. I was tired and achy, and I didn't want to do any more. That has all changed, guys. Now I'm the one who wants to ride the next day. I am ready to go because I feel so much better. Now I am actually looking for mountains to climb. I'm hiking to glaciers. I'm even paddleboarding. And this is all the stuff I do just in Alaska. When I am traveling outside, that is the lower 48, all the states besides Alaska and Hawaii, I will go ahead and look for adventures. Before, I would look for the swimming pool and a good book. No, now those destinations are based on what trails are nearby. And now I'm traveling more than ever because I'm a health coach and I have the luxury of better finances and more free time. You see, before I was always the older lady, because guys, late 50s here, right? I was the older ladies who would be bringing up the rear. Nobody wanted me hiking with them because I was a slowpoke on the back. Now I'm the one inviting friends to go hiking. I'm the one breaking the trails. And we all know in Alaska, you never hike alone. We have too many bears on our trails. So the joke is, you can go with a group, but you gotta be sure that you're not the slowest one on the trail. I'm not anymore, thanks to Optavia. Not only that, but I have an awesome support system that carries me through this. Thank you, Stacy Pratt, Bob and Laura Gaffney, awesome coaches and mentors, and Dr. A for writing up this just amazing, amazing life-changing transformation plan. I love it, and I thank you for this opportunity to share my story. Y'all be blessed and look for adventures in your neighborhood. Life's short, go out and get moving. Thanks so much again for allowing me to share.
Oh, wow, Teresa.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much. The chat was absolutely blowing up there. So many people love Alaska. These pictures speak for themselves, all the neat activities that you are doing. Yes, be mindful of the bears.
Absolutely.
For sure. That's a good enough reason, you know, and I love what we get to do. It is such a pleasure to get to walk alongside you. We do help people create transformation, lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time, as we say, but change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to create change, and we love this because we create sustainable change.
We do. And so let's dive in and talk more about how we do that. So let's continue with NEAT. So NEAT at home. So here are some ideas that you guys can do to really ramp up those extra calorie burns. So just as an example, make your bed, right? Mama always says, wake up and make your bed, right? Well, there's a good way to get you started right on the right foot. Next one, hide the TV remote. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I can be guilty of couch surfing all the time. Yeah. Also walk the dog, right? You can get your steps in and of course burn more calories that way. But now you NEAT and at work. So here's really a good one. So when you're at work, parking far away from the entrance to work. Again, this is another really great way of getting those extra steps in. Using the restroom at the other end of the building, that's another great way to get extra steps in. The other cool thing too is if you're holding a meeting, walk around on the phone if you can. If it's a phone call, go ahead and walk around. You can pace around. That'll keep getting those calories burned, right?
Yes.
Right.
Love
And
all those.
yeah, absolutely. And then lastly here is you and neat and on the go. So I love the top one. Use a hand basket at the store instead of the cart, right? So we'll work on those guns a little bit,
Yeah.
right? If it's bad weather outside, go to the mall, walk around, right? And lastly, if you can bike wherever possible, get on that bike and pedal. Get those calories
I love
going.
all those ideas. And guys, those are on page 339 in your life book. If you wanted to go into detail on them and look at those.
Absolutely. So let's see here.
So we're going to dive into a poll, our next poll.
Here we go.
So if we can bring up the poll, please. And we're going to be asking you, what is your current physical activity level? None. Neat. Are you sneaking extra movement in? Eat. Things like walking. Or are you just going at it, having the heavier cardio HIIT exercises?
Know which one I did.
I just saw yours. I do know which one you did. You're a monster.
Trying.
So while we are getting the results of that poll, we are going to bring on our next guest speakers tonight, Elena and Jason Pippett. They started out as clients and fell in love with the program and quickly paid it forward. And we are just so excited to invite them here to share their story. Elena and Jason, please come off mute. We want to hear your story.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having us this evening. I'm Elena.
And I'm Jason.
And together we have lost 140 pounds. We both come from big Italian Jersey families.
Everything revolves around eating.
Yes, food.
Food.
Someone's born, you eat. Someone is sick, you eat. You get a good grade, you eat. You're sad, you eat. You get the point. So we have been together since I was 17 years old, so for a long time. And we have been together through all the ups and downs of, fad diets and all kinds of things. And we have finally found something that has worked, and it's just such a blessing. So let's go back to about 2 years ago. I kept seeing these posts from my coaches, the risers, Jen and Rich Riser, and I was wondering what the heck is going on? Like, what do these people have to do to look this amazing and feel this amazing? So I ended up running into them at the food store, and they gave me a little brief overview of the program. And I went home, and I don't know, I had a really good feeling, and I tried everything. I was at my wit's end, and I said, you know what, Jason, let me just see if I can do this program. And I'm so glad that I did, because my whole entire life growing up, I had a weight issue. I have never been at a healthy weight. I was really badly bullied in middle school. On the bus, food was thrown at me. I would come home crying every single day. It was just terrible. And it really made me have a really bad relationship with food and working out and just taking care of myself. So this program has really allowed me to have a healthy relationship with food and exercise and all those things. So in this element, we're talking about, in element 17, we're talking about the neat activities. And in neat activities, we're talking about things that you do that you don't really realize you're burning calories, right? So things like coaching a soccer team. I have 3 daughters, and I coach the youngest daughter's soccer team. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I don't know nothing about soccer, but luckily the girls help me out, and I have I'm the assistant coach, and I'm running around the field with the girls, keeping up with them, and it's just so much fun. Something I never wanted to be in front of anyone, and especially in like athletic gear, and it's just amazing. Guys, this year in November, I climbed a mountain. Yes, I said a mountain, and I'm getting goosebumps everywhere because I never in my life thought that I could do this. And I'm looking up, and I'm actually with my coach on this, little hike we're on. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, let's go, we're doing it. And you know what, when I got to the top of that mountain, it was the most amazing feeling ever. And now we're on mountains skiing. We're skiing together as a family. Being a health coach has allowed me the financial freedom and the time freedom to be able to do those things. We're skiing together as a family. We go to the beach all the time. Another more neat activities that I do on the beach. I was the one that was sitting down in the chair, hiding behind a book. I didn't want anyone to see me. Not anymore. I'm up playing baseball with my nephews, in the water with my kids. My daughters are always saying, Mom, you look so young. Mom, you look so happy. You look, and that's what I wanted. And, the beach cart, the dreaded beach cart, I'm the one pulling that thing to and from the beach on the, through the sand. That is my non-scale victory. I don't let anybody touch that beach cart. I'm going to let Jason tell his story.
All right. My story is similar to Elena. I struggled with weight my whole life. I would go up and down. And for the last 5 years, I would use those EAT activities like we were talking about, those planned exercises to control my weight. But my nutrition started to slip and my weight started to pack on, and I couldn't do it anymore. And that's exactly when Elena signed up to be a health coach. And after a week of her being on it, I noticed her energy level and just, you know, her weight loss. And I'm like, I have to join too. So I joined her, and I was able to release 80 pounds, and I was able to keep doing those eat activities. And then those neat activities that we do it with our family, like skiing, like walking dogs. We don't dread those anymore. Like it'd be before, like, oh, do we really have to go do this or that? But now it's just everyday activities, and we're not scared of them anymore. We just do. We foster dogs now. We have 9 puppies running around our house. We never sit down. It's just enjoyable to just be able to live our lives like we want to live them.
Yes,
So.
it's just amazing. We love animals, and again, the time freedom and financial freedom has allowed us to foster dogs. So we usually take mamas that are pregnant, and they have anywhere, you know, usually we have the big litters for some reason, 9 to 13 puppies. So we've got like 3 of our own dogs and 10 puppies, and it's craziness. But we love it, and now we have the energy to do that, and
the financial freedom to do it.
And the financial freedom to do it. So we are just so grateful for Optavia, the Habits of Health, and my coaches, Jen and Rich Reiser, and the Gaffneys for giving us this opportunity. And I'm so glad that we said yes, because our lives are forever changed in so many more ways than just losing weight. We are now going to be traveling together, and we just can't wait to do that. So thank you so much for allowing us to be on tonight. And we hope that you reach out to the person that invited you and get inspired and go do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, we love every bit of that story. That is so amazing. Thank you, Elena and Jason.
Amazing.
And you just paint a beautiful picture. I can just see you running around and skiing and with all those puppies.
Yeah, I wanted to know what the dogs were.
It's amazing. It's quiet, right?
Exactly.
With 17 dogs. So thank you so much for sharing. And you know, you can see that the NEAT system is a bit like the story of the tortoise and the hare. And just by making small daily choices, you can win the race of weight management and set the stage for exercise at your own pace. And you're really just adding movement to every aspect of your day, but you're doing it gradually so that it won't seem like much effort at all. I also want to add, don't forget, if you have a medical condition, you need to be cleared by a healthcare provider first. So let's move on. We have the results of our poll coming up. If we could have those put up, please.
Okay, so here we go. Yeah, absolutely. So what is your current physical activity? So 13% of you said none. 34% of you said that you're doing NEAT, so you're sneaking in some extra movement. 40% of you said that you were doing EAT in the form of walking, and 13% of you said that you were doing heavy cardio or some type of a HIIT workout. So that's fantastic. Great job there, guys. And
that is awesome. So the majority of you are doing some kind of NEAT or EAT activity. So awesome. Congratulations.
Good. Looks like we're having some good influence here.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So so let's move on. You're going to talk about the 6 S's
of success. Yes, this is a lot of fun. So let's talk a little bit about these 6 neat categories here. And the first one is stance. And so basically, I want you guys to look at yourselves right now. How are you sitting? Are you sitting up straight with your shoulders back, with your chin up, with your stomach in nice and tight, back straight? So that's an example of stance for NEAT. Next one is standing. So same thing. For those of you who are sitting, go ahead and stand up for us, right? Shoulders back, chin up, stomach in tight, back straight, right? That's another example of NEAT for standing. Next one is strolling. So this is just something that's unplanned. You're out there maybe walking the dog or just strolling around. That's another example of burning more calories through NEAT. Stairs. So now if you want to ramp it up a little bit and really take a big bite out of calorie burn, start doing more stairs. You can burn a lot more calories just moving your body. Samba is the next S. We love samba, and that has to do with, hey, turn on some tunes. Put on your favorite tunes and let your body groove. Yeah. And the more you groove, what's happening? We're burning more calories. Pretty cool, right?
Having fun.
That's right. And then the last one is switch, right? So you're going to switch off, right, all of those automated tasks and go to manual. Okay, so those are the 6 S's of the NEAT success system. Pretty cool.
Yes, awesome. And this NEAT system actually has a tracker available at habitsofhealth.com. For those of you who want to track your NEAT points and calories you have burned. However, if that's too detailed for you, it's okay just to make your life more active in an impromptu fashion just go have some fun and get into perpetual motion.
Absolutely.
Because that is really what we want you to do.
That's exactly
to become
right.
perpetual motion machines. And what do I mean by that? Well, as you can see here, we have the Habits of Health clock, which is also another tool that you can download from habitsofhealth.com. And the goal is to fill this activity. And by the end of the second month, because remember, we're creating habits over time, end of the second month of using the NEAT system, you'll be burning about an extra 200 calories more per day than you are now, just by enhancing your normal everyday activities. You'll also increase your flexibility, mobility, total daily motion to make your whole body stronger. And moving forward, then you can start incorporating, like Jason was saying, more EAT activities into your life and give yourself that gift of exercise. So I want to leave you with this question tonight as we wrap up sharing element 17. What action are you going to take as a result of this element? Go ahead, and we want to see some things. Post in the chat. What's the number one thing that you're going to do to take action as a result of this element? And I'm going to read a few of these in here. Take the stairs, stand up straight. Wow, they're going so fast.
Oh my
Walk
gosh,
my
walk the
dog.
dance the kids, jump on the trampoline.
Move it.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
The
chat's actually dancing, guys.
The chat is blowing up. You guys are coming up with boxing, martial arts, read my life book. I like that. We can read the life book standing up. That would be even better, right? Yeah, so I noticed too, when we said, as soon as you said stance, and I was looking in the chat, people said, oh, I'm slouching, and I sat up straighter. Or some people said, well, I'm propped up in bed. Hey, that's okay. For most of us, it's nighttime here, right?
Oh,
So,
it sure is.
Okay, so I think that we have one more poll coming up.
We sure do.
So let's go ahead and launch that. We would love to hear.
Love to hear how you like this community time, guys. So first one, was it excellent? Second one, was it very good? Third, was it just good? Fourth, was it below average? Or fifth, was it poor? We'd love to hear your answers. So take some time and fill it out.
Okay.
I say excellent.
You're going to say excellent?
I'm biased.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and complete that. Make your selection there. And we're just going to go ahead and wrap up this part of community time.
Alrighty. So with that, guys, this is some really, really good stuff here. So if you want to be reminded about this amazing community time, we have an incredible texting campaign. Actually, I've got my Apple Watch here. Had it for the last 3.5 years. So if you want to text all caps Optavia 30 to the number 99,000, you can do that. You'll get text updates just before the community time to give you a reminder. If for those of you who want to jump on the podcast and listen to it, you can jump to the iTunes store and download that. Or if you just want to jump on our YouTube channel, the actual link to the YouTube channel is at the bottom. So a lot of great areas for you to connect with us.
I love all these ways that we can plug into our community. So, if you miss it, you can always go search that up, search up a particular topic.
That's right.
And join in and plug into our community, because community is where change happens.
That's exactly right. And I would love to invite all of you to join us next week for the Habits of Health Community Time. This is choices versus cheating, guys. So think about stop, challenge, choose, a little hint there. And this is hosted by Jamil Fraser, who is also an independent certified Optavia coach.
Yes. So that concludes this part of our community time, our Habits of Health community time. And we hope that you enjoyed hearing about element 17. I know that it certainly has motivated us. Thank you to our guest speakers tonight. And we are going to move on to the second part of our evening.
Oh yeah, you don't want to leave, guys.
No, stay on for this. We're going to have some amazing, inspiring stories of transformation. Some more guests that we
get to share my story.
Have hand-selected for you. Yes, you do. It's your turn. Stay tuned for Bob's story, right?
Yes.
And some more inspiring.
At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The prior audio contained the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optavia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope those stories inspire you to continue your journey with or to consider joining Optavia. But please note that they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optavia. Additionally, this audio may have contained income or earning representations of some independent Optavia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optavia is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optavia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optavia coaches in the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optavia coaches operating in the US, please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of US coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optavia coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in health, the Optavia team.